You're always on my mind. When you come around, I get shy. See you. Why see you? Every time when every time when I get a minute, I see you. I see you.
Well. Guess who's back, guys? You know who I am. My motto is I don't make believe, I make believers. Family. I'm your gracious host, Drama. 1980, hailing from Columbia, South Carolina. I hope you're having a good day today, and if that's not the case, ask yourself why. Because remember, happiness is an inside job. Did you hear me? Let me say it 2 times for the slow ones in the back. I said happiness is an inside job, and it will always be an internal affair. But guys, we back today again with another reaction from my man King Flex, Tariq Nasheed. This is a good showing, guys. I'm not going to preface the conversation. I'm going to just call your attention to the screen, get your popcorn ready, because you know how we do on this side, guys. Let's go.
All of the pointing the finger, saying, well, that side is racist and that side is racist. Okay, there's racism all around. Now, who has the policies? Just like with the Democrats at the DNC when they had the Central Park 5 out. And I called that out. And a lot of the Democratic shills, they've been hopping in the mentions, mad and upset. You sound like MAGA. That's not an insult. That means you don't really have a comeback. They had the Central Park 5 on the DNC program throwing shots at Trump about that ad. I think in the New York Post, one of those newspapers at the time. And they were like, yes, it was Trump's fault that we were in jail and whoop-de-whoop. And I'm not going to let the Democrats play that game where the Democrats do something horribly racist and then hide their hands and point at somebody else. I pointed out, and a lot of folks didn't realize this. The Central Park 5, they got prosecuted because of the damn Democrats. That was a Democratic movement in New York at the time. The lady, the prosecutor, she was a damn Democrat. Robert Morgenthau, that was the Manhattan DA. He was a Democrat. Ed Koch, the mayor at the time, he was a Democrat. All of these guys were running on that whole tough on crime vibe back in the late 80s. So there was this whole wave of tough on crime because there were a few things happening. And Mayor Mario Cuomo, that was another one, another Democrat. He was on that tough on crime wave during the time of the Central Park 5. In fact, Cuomo put like 30 prisons in New York at the time. There were a few things happening in New York at that time. You had a lot of these upstate New York areas that were poor white areas that were going into poverty because a lot of the factories had moved out of those areas. So they would be damn near ghost towns up there in upstate New York and outside of New York. Outside of New York City and Buffalo, New York is a hick state damn near. So they put a lot of prisons in those little damn near abandoned white towns, and those prisons became the economy for those towns. Putting black folks in jail, that became their economy. That was Cuomo behind that. So in order to fill those prisons up, you need your propaganda arm to get out here and demonize people in order to justify locking them up in large groups. So you had the liberal politicians, Cuomo, Ed Koch, and all of these people running around talking about being tough on crime. You had the liberal white media at the time of the Central Park 5 putting out propaganda, calling black men wolf packs, and they're going around wilding, making them very animalistic. And that contributed to those brothers getting wrongly locked up. And again, the prosecutor, the woman who actually coerced them and got them locked up unjustly, that was a Democrat, Linda Fairstein. And not only a Democrat, a major Democrat donor. She donated to the Clintons, Obama, a whole bunch of people, while the Democrats sitting up there pointing the finger, talking about that Trump ad. That was the Democrats doing that. And another thing that was ironic, there were a lot of weird stuff going on in New York with rapes and attacks. And this is why delineation is very important, because it was a white woman who got raped and killed at Central Park around 1986, a couple of years before the Central Park 5 case. It was a white dude who did it, and they gave him a cute little nickname. They gave him his name was the Preppy Killer. While the black people, they were wolf pack and wildin' and demons. This white dude actually sexually assaulted and killed a woman. And they called him the Preppy Killer because he came from a well-to-do family. And he was a white supremacist, by the way. He was known to yell the N-word.
Guys, let's get to work. Did anybody notice the sleight of hand trick? They tried to use Trump as the scapegoat for the Central Park 5, right? Now, did Trump put out a racist ad? Yes, 100%. But he wasn't in office. And we all know Donald Trump's father was a Klansman. We know that. But Joe Biden mentor, the person that he took after, the person that he mimicked was Robert Byrd. Go look up Robert Byrd. He was a KKK leader. And Joe Biden policies, he bragged about locking black people up. They call it the 3-strike Biden law. Do you understand that? And they was trying to run this campaign about, oh, Donald Trump put out an ad. But the people behind the scenes, the governor, the prosecutor, everybody was Democrats. One is no better than the other, in my humble opinion. And you know I'm telling the truth. You stuck between Satan and the devil, basically. Isn't it ironic and crazy that you find yourself have to choose between the lesser of the two evils? I choose nothing. But if I had to vote, listen to me. Listen at what I'm about to say. Some of y'all gonna be upset. Pee in your clothes for all I care. Who cares? If I had to vote, if somebody put a gun to my head and say, vote for one of these candidates, I wouldn't vote for Kamala Harris, to be honest with you. And no way under God's son would I put a vote in for Kamala Harris. Because she's too ditzy. She seems like she's intoxicated or inebriated or under the influence of some type of substance, maybe alcohol. Who knows? But she, all that laughing and cackling and giggling like a hyena, that don't cut it for me. We need to talk about policies, and you need to address the things that you said in the past. Oh, because the internet keeps a tab on you. The media keeps a tab on you. And I'm not talking about the mainstream media. I'm talking about these other guys that's putting in work and giving you different angles, different views, but we talking about the same thing. You understand that, right? Jason Black might come on and say it's 7:45. Tariq might come on and say it's 15 till 8. Huh? Did you hear me? But the whole premise is you know what time it is because we all saying the same thing. The delivery might be slightly different. You understand that? It's packaged different, but we saying the same thing at the foundation. No pun intended, foundation of Black Americans. But we're not falling for this trick. We're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. We too advanced. Because number one, a banana ain't got no business being in no tailpipe anyway. And no penis ain't got no business being in no... Oh, let me get out of here.
His name was Robert something. I forgot his name, but I remember his nickname was the Preppy Killer. And he only got like 15, 20 years in jail. He's out now. Yeah, he got released from jail, I think. I forgot. It wasn't too long ago, but he's out. He got out of jail. You never heard of that story, you see. And what's interesting with the Central Park 5 case, the person who actually did it, because the guys in the Central Park 5, they were absolutely innocent. It was the damn Puerto Rican tether who actually did it. He confessed, and then they matched his DNA to the crime scene. So it was one dude who did it. But notice that Black people got the brunt of the criticism based on stuff that white supremacists and tethers were doing. You dig? I want y'all to think about that. Some tether goes out here and does this heinous crime, and then the Black community, we get the brunt of the negative pushback from it. It becomes a pathological thing within Black society. It's a crime we didn't even commit. That's what led to that stop and frisk thing too, by the way. You understand? So this is why we delineate, because people come over with melanated skin and they do this weird stuff and they just get thrown under the banner of Blackness. That's why up in New York, every time we see crimes going on, I'm like, wait. Look at that hairline. Don't throw him in with us. He's not a foundational Black American. Don't throw him in with us. I'm adamant about that. Because what happens is a lot of these melanated immigrants, they'll come over here and their people do crimes, and then we get thrown under the bus, and then those same melanated immigrants will be standing up here with white people talking about, hey, look at those low IQ people with all that crime. And these are your people. Just like we had to check Myron. Myron Gaines is still salty that I spanked him and his buddies like a month or so ago. I got on a live and spanked about 10 of them by myself, and they're real salty because they weren't prepared for it, and I embarrassed them. So they're still whining about me spanking him. And Myron put up a tweet earlier talking about, because I mentioned that Kamala Harris, they keep trying to blacken her up, and she's not a foundational Black American. We don't recognize her as someone as a part of our lineage. She's not. She's not from our lineage. Y'all can try to make her as Black as you can. She ain't our Black. She's not a foundational Black American, and there's no evidence that anybody in her family has ever identified as Black, and that means her damn Jamaican father. There's no evidence that he identified as Black, and even if he did over there, he's not a foundational Black American, and neither is she. And then Myron hopped in my comments talking about low IQ FBAs, and then I just posted a picture of the people in his village, in his homeland, using cow urine to wash their hair, all right? Which is a real photograph from a real village in his real homeland. You don't get to talk greasy about us.
Let's get to work, guys. I'm going to tackle several things that Tariq said. Talking about the preppy killer. Yeah, they always get them little cushy, soft names, all that. I didn't know I was doing wrong. They call it affluenza. That is simply, guys, whenever that you so rich or you so affluent to, you don't know right from wrong because the lines were blurred. You can't make this up. I didn't do it. Google it. Google is your friend. There's more than porn on the internet, guys. Go Google something. Find out for yourself. If I'm lying, get back on here and course correct me, please. These people commit so many crimes and they sweep it up under the rug. You never even hear about half of these crimes. That's why I made it my life mission to go on my community tab and post what I call The Other Side. That's simply a series where I just post the crimes that you never hear about, that never make it to the worldwide stage. And family, the good thing about it, a lot of people take those articles that I post and they share them and they screenshot them and they send them around. And they need to be seen because they try to make it like Black people are just the worst. I'm talking about FBAs. Do we commit crime? Yes. You seen how simple that was? Let's be clear. Let's be transparent. Let's be translucent. Let light pass through you for a minute, okay? Instead of having so much darkness in you. The average FBA, the Foundation of Black Americans, the people that descended from chattel slavery, most of those people that commit crimes, I said most, simply is for some type of financial reason. Most of the time, most. It have to do with human conditioning, oppression, financial strangulation, economic depravity. That's what most Foundation of Black Americans commit crimes pertaining to, whether it's drugs or what have you. That's where you're going to get your crime at, the ghettos, the poor areas. Because you don't find too many Black people commit no crimes in no middle class. Do they have crime? Yes, absolutely. And Myron have the nerve to always talk about the low IQ thing. But take a walk with me for a second, guys. This guy was on top of the world at one point, right? I would consider it to be extremely low IQ to talk yourself out of millions of dollars. Idiot. Listen at me. You want to talk? Let's talk. I would consider it to be low IQ when people done warn you to stop talking so foolish, code your language, and maybe you can talk about it in passing. But no, you crash out because you think that you have some type of camaraderie with your counterparts, with your Aryans. You just like the guy, the leaders of the Proud Boys. He thought he was one of them too. And you know good and well, and I know, he wasn't no leader of them guys. He was just a face. And people use you as the face just to say the nasty and vile things that they want to project out. And you the fool. I consider that to be low IQ. That mess come from William Shockley from the 1970s when Dr. Francis Chris Wilson mopped the floor with him. Do anybody remember that? Oh, see, we need to keep records and post certain things because, so short memory that people have. Do you understand? People have short-term memory, and some of y'all don't even know. Our good sister, our mother, our elder, she mopped the floor with William Shockley. He came up talking about, well, black people are inherently dumber and all that. Well, who taught you how to bathe? Who taught you about alcohol? Who taught you how to eat? Who taught you how to walk? Shall I continue? Most of those castles that y'all see in those marvels and those buildings was conquered. Those buildings was already built. Them people just took over everything. Ain't no such thing as they smarter than you. That's a lie. That's a lie from the pits of hell, y'all. Quit believing everything you hear. You can't even believe half of the things you see. T.S. Giselle, transgenders. You can't believe half the things you see. Quit believing everything. You not the lowest of the low. They just people that's more treacherous than you are. They are people that's willing to do anything, delete, unalive people for no reason other than, well, it's just for our survival. Nobody is doing nothing to you, though. Oh, somebody don't want to take this walk with me. They don't want to take this walk with me. Ain't nobody doing anything to anybody. I wonder why those low birth rates are down like that. I would say because nature is running its course, if you ask me. Because you have to reap what you sow, guys. You can't continue to just harm people and commit genocide and then say, well, that was back then. You're still doing it. Oh, but let me put y'all Bible scholars on to something. And most of y'all don't even know this. Do anybody know anything about Esau? See, the Bible scholars don't want to deal with this. Go to the book of Obadiah and just read the whole thing. It talk about Esau will exalt himself amongst the stars and the eagle. What is the symbols of these European nations? Eagles and stars, huh? Do anybody remember when they first so-called landed on the moon? What did they say? What was the famous quote? The eagle has landed. God, I know somebody better hear me when I talk. Somebody better hear me. And the Lord say, since you hated your brother, Jacob. Oh boy, y'all better go read. It's not all of them, but a lot of them are. It's not all of them now, but a lot of them are. I'm talking about the ones sitting in power, but the ones underneath them help as well because they propagate the system and help run it, and they don't want no change. Everybody just want the status quo. Just go to school and just pull your pants up and just speak like us and just be integrated into what we doing. I don't want to do what you doing because I know the end game for you, so I don't want to do that. But the Bible say that God would destroy him. There will be nothing left in the day of the coming. Not what I said. It's in the book. It's in the book, plain as day. He said, Jacob I love, but Esau I hated because of Esau's actions, because they live by the sword. It's in the Bible. The Bible say Esau was going to live off the fat of the land, which it means that they will live good. Do anybody hear me? And they also go live by the sword. The fire stick is what conquered the world, guys. Can I teach you for about 2 minutes? The fire stick. They conquered the world by the fire stick, meaning the gunpowder. And they still conquering the world by the fire stick, but it's on your TV now. God almighty, did somebody catch that? That's bars. That's bars. They conquer the world by the gun, a fire stick. Black people didn't know what that was. They was calling it magic. Now they conquering the world through the fire stick still. But they masked the gunpowder by the fire stick on the television that plugs in. Double entendre from there, guys. Triples, okay? You better know what you're dealing with. They're not smarter than you. They're just more hateful. Not what I said. Just look around. Who have all the nuclear weapons? I'll wait on you. The minute Mandela got a weapon, what did they do with him? Lock him up. See, I know somebody getting that uneasy feeling. Oh, he's telling the truth. I know I'm telling the truth because I have looked at this for years. Just because I don't say that doesn't mean that I don't know. I'm just waiting on the right time to unveil certain things. All the nuclear weapons, look at who have them. They're going to live by the sword. Well, but the Lord said that he is going to take them down. He, not me. My hands are off you. I ain't saying nothing. And these immigrants have the nerve like Myron to come over here. With this low IQ, stupid self, guy making millions of dollars, millions, and running his mouth. Let him bamboozle him, trick him out of his bag. You the one with the low IQ. You the fool. You an idiot. Up there hugged up, kissing and smooching on your brothers, talking about boys or just be boys. I'm not, ain't nobody kissing me on no jaw. What's wrong with you? Pants so tight, look like spandex. Boys will be boys, huh? You might as well come on out the closet, man, and quit playing. Just go ahead and just tell us what we already know. And have the nerve to come over here talking about that it's us, we commit crime. All this crime going on. Look at up in, I think it's Aurora, Colorado. They so-called people from Venezuela taking over the apartment complex. You know, guys, if the government want to shut that down, you really think that them people really doing that and the government just sitting back, we can't do nothing. Y'all fall for this trick every time. And who is in office now? Who? The Democrats? I mean, the Democrats? Okay. And you think Kamala gonna do something about it after she get in office? Sleepy Joe is in office now. Kamala don't even have no interviews by herself except for one. And she made a mess of herself then. And we gonna talk about that in another video, all right? All right? But guys, tell me what y'all think. Don't fall for these Democratic tricks and these plantation jubilees and dancing and cooking crawfish and what's wrong with y'all? These people throwing concerts, and we're gonna talk about this on another video. They throwing concerts, dancing, shucking, eating catfish, and talking about collard greens and symbolic things. That don't move the needle. We need the needle to move. The needle is moving all right. It's going toward E. We need something else, guys. We too advanced for this. There's a different group of people coming up that's here currently. And we in the highways, in the hedges. We don't want to hear nothing about no AKAs and no Sigma Phi. We don't care nothing about no Greek mess. What's wrong with y'all? Let me go before I get upset. But guys, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Come on back to see me, guys. Until next time. Peace. And remember, there is more.